Alright guys, I'm at my parents' house. I just wanted to show the little network system I set up for them. Basically they had Comcast Triple Play. They had a modem in this room, which they call their computer room, where they have their desktop, and a Wi-Fi router. I mean, I kept the same modem and Wi-Fi router. They also had a modem, an SBV5220. It has a battery backup built in, and it has phone, but they only used it for the phone, and it was hooked up in a different room where there's a phone line that went to the downstairs as well. So basically, they're already using some type of VoIP system that Comcast had set up. It's just there was lots of problems with it. That modem wasn't getting enough signal in that room, the upstream power from the coax it was receiving. So I could have changed the way the coax were split throughout the house, but I figured I might as well get it all in one modem. The second thing was they had really bad voice quality. I don't think that was because of the modem, because that's all digital, but I assume it was because those were we had two wireless phones, one in my mom's room, one downstairs, and they were on the 2.4 gigahertz network, and their Wi-Fi is on the 2.4 gigahertz network. So, and those were not digital signal. I don't think that wireless signal was coming out. I don't think it was digital. So there was a lot of interference, and the phones were really crappy. They had crappy battery, and yeah. So I basically bought a few pieces of equipment and changed up the way their network's set up, and I think everything is really good now. And we're not paying for voice anymore. We were paying, I don't know, around $20 to do triple play compared to double play. I haven't changed their plan yet, but I'll kind of explain what I did. So number one, here's their home network now. I took out the modem in the other room. They just have their SB5101 that I purchased. Now I'm just hoping, it's right, I'm going to put my finger on it, right there. I'm just hoping that Comcast keeps supporting the DOCSIS 2.0 modems. I think this one's very popular, still supported for a while. I figured I might as well buy a DOCSIS 3 eventually because they barely use the internet. There's only a few people in this house that use the internet. So, number two, we have the WRT54. I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be like version 6. So yeah, just some random one. I put DDWRT on here. Works pretty well. It needs to be rebooted once in a while. So, I mean, that's just it's got very little RAM and very little ROM. So, you know, what can you expect? So that's being used basically as a switch and for the wireless. And as the router. I put in this battery, but this isn't needed. This is just to keep stuff on if the power goes out. It's because I don't currently have a house, because I'm waiting to move out to Sacramento where I got my new job. And, well, even when I go there, I'm not going to set up all my equipment yet. So once I actually own my house, I'll set up all my computers and stuff. So I thought they might as well use it for now. So this is what I purchased. This is an Obi 100 made by Obi High. It had rave reviews on Amazon. And I can see why. It works really well. It basically, I don't think it's running Linux, but just a little computer that has one PSTN line. I have a splitter here. I'm going to use this later, but it has one PSTN line coming out to connect to a phone, not to the outside world, and then one Ethernet going in. This is to connect to the internet and just power. So it's really small. As you can see compared to my hands. I have pretty big hands, but you can see it's very small. And what I don't like about it is you do have to kind of register it online. You can't just configure Google Voice locally. There is a local interface, but there's nothing there really that you need to do. You configure Google Voice online, which is kind of cool because I'm assuming if Google Voice services changes, like Google changes the way they do that, then they'll update it online. You won't have to update it here. I did do a firmware update as soon as I got this. Got the newest firmware on there. So, yeah. So this was about $42 on Amazon. Works really well. I've had no problems with it, actually. So, yeah, so basically you have that hooked up to here. I have two other Ethernets going in that go to other desktops in the house. One's in my room, one's in this room. So yeah, I built one of these before. It doesn't fit in here anymore, so one of them is getting more signal from over here and not wasting signal over there. So it's kind of cool, but yeah. That's because basically we're at the end of the house on this side, so I might as well make it directional. So anyway, let me show you the phone it's connected to. So basically what this does, it connects to the Google Voice in Gmail, the little calling widget, and it thinks that Google Voice thinks you're on Gmail trying to make calls, and it works really well. Let me show you the phone. So here's the phone it connected to. So the other thing I did was I bought these phones. This is the base receiver, and I bought two more, and without having to wire anything, because the two more are just connected to this unit. You just have to sync them all. And it's a really nice phone, like big buttons, plus the old phone my parents had bad battery. It was on 2.4 gigahertz network, like I said. So this is on the 1.9 gigahertz network. I think it might actually have support for multiple networks, but it's, yeah. So this doesn't have any interference with any other things like microwaves or other stuff in the house, so it has really good call quality. It's digital over the air, so it's even better call quality. I mean, over this wire, the PSTN, it's obviously analog, so you could lose quality here, but it's a short wire. So, yeah. The thing is, you can't call 911 from here because it's Google Voice, so I put on there the local, let me block the light, sorry. I put on there the local police station and fire, so that would actually be faster to call those numbers. They can't track you though, that's the thing. So you'd have to tell them where they are. I also put those on speed dial on here. So I put speed dial for Google Voice. Like if I press hold 0, it'll call my own number. It'll call the number I have set up on here, my dad's Google Voice number, and that is basically the voicemail for the house. I don't know how these new voicemail things come in. I cleared them when I first bought it, but I'm not sure how they're actually coming in. It says there's new voicemail and new missed calls. I don't know if you have to clear it or what. I don't really care. My parents don't even look at that kind of stuff. They just check the voicemail when they get home. And I showed my dad how to check voicemail on... he has the voicemails emailed to him as well, so he can see when he has a voicemail and just play it directly from his browser. So yeah, that's basically it right there. And let me just explain... let me show you one of the base receivers. This is the one in my mom's room. Sorry, it's loud. So this is one of the receivers. So basically bought the base receiver and two of these guys for about $45. I think that the package was damaged. I got on like the Amazon. It shipped from Amazon, but it was like refurbished, or it was one of those damaged packages, so you got it cheaper. So it's really cheap, $45 for 3 phones with only one base receiver, so that's good. I didn't have to wire anything in the house yet. Yeah, so basically... yeah, so let me just tell you some steps. If you just Google online how to switch from Comcast to Google Voice, there's some instructions, but this is what I had to do. I purchased a Verizon Go phone with minutes on it from Walmart for $15. Or not, they don't call it Go phone, they call it like pay, I forgot what they call it, like, yeah. But basically it allows you to make, I had $10 worth of credit when I purchased that $15 phone. I then moved my home phone line from Comcast. I just called the Verizon porting service. They moved it from there to the cell phone. That took about a day. Yeah, I think it took about a day. And then that phone started ringing when my home phone was ringing, and my home phone stopped working. So first you port it to a mobile number, your home phone. Then I ported from Verizon to Google Voice, and that Google charged me $20, and that took about almost 2 days, a little bit less. And that on Google, or no, it might have been a day as well. Now Google Voice had the number, and then I just set it up here, and so it cost me $20 to port, $15 for that phone. And I'm keeping that phone just in case. I might put it near one of these phones and have it as a 911 phone, because I believe it's still credit, and even if there isn't credit, I think as long as it hits the network, 911 calls are free. So you buy one of those phones, you basically leave it next to it. People could call 911. It's still not as good as a home landline, because the tracking is based on triangulation instead of just straight up like some book where it says where the address for that number is. It's based on your cell phone triangulation, but it works well. So basically, you port your number to a Go phone of some sort. It has to have some type of minutes. You port that to Google Voice, and then yeah, you're good. And then you pay $20 at that point, and you're good to go. Basically, I think it needs to be some type of mobile number. So if you're just porting your cell phone to your home phone, or to Google Voice, it's just $20. But yeah, so that's the way I ported this. From now on, we don't have to pay. The only thing I'm worried about is if the OB service, you know, they stop doing stuff, because I did have to set up the Google Voice information on their server. I don't know exactly if it configured my OB thing. So, and I don't know if Google Voice is going to start charging at some point. So I'm assuming it's going to be, well, it's going to be free for the rest of 2012. But even if they charge so much per minute, it's still going to be cheaper than $20 per month or whatever we're paying Comcast. So yeah, so that's basically the system. Let me just show one more time. Everything's just safely in that box, running quietly, and we get very high quality voice calls. I think these are higher than when we had the landline, because everything is digital except for that one cable. Well, when it hits the PSTN to call the other person from Google, it might lose some signal, but other than that, it's very high quality. It's like calling from your computer on Google Voice, and these phones are really nice. I also recommend these phones. You'll find it if you look for the OB100. It's also on like other things they bought. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about setting up a system like this, just ask me. See you guys.